Sherry from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Sunday, November 21st. So we do have the moon moving out of Gemini energy, moving into Cancer energy. And as you may know, the moon rules over Cancer. This is her place of power. This is her place of comfort. We get all up in our emotional feels. We get hypersensitive. We really retreat. We concentrate on the family dynamic, on the foundation of our thoughts, of our feelings, of our boundaries, of what it is that we need. And typically speaking, things can get a little bit overwhelming when all the feels and all intuitive insights are coming in heavy, hot, fast, and furious. But first, we do have the moon in Gemini up until about 11 a.m. and will not be locking into Cancer energy until about 10:30 p.m. And again, that is Eastern time. And having the whole day, the majority of the day with the moon void, of course, this is typically a very unstable time, a very shaky time for our heart, for our head, not a good time to be making decisions or jumping into something new. We are going to feel a little bit all over the place, and especially where we are just coming out of this full moon eclipse energy, we are looking for stable ground, but we might not find any here today, especially where we're moving from the moon in Gemini, air sign, head space, to the heart space of Cancer energies. So we have 13 different aspects taking place here today. 10 of them involve the moon. And right out of the gate, the moon in Gemini is going to be squaring Neptune, really putting us at odds with what it is that we're feeling and what it is that we are kind of tapping into intuitively. We might have a hard time imagining, visualizing what it is that we need to be pouring our time energy into. And because that moon in Gemini is kind of all over the place, very curious, wants to dabble in a little bit of everything, we're going to have a hard time accessing our higher selves for the moment. We're going to have a hard time interpreting our visions and our dreams. Neptune energy definitely does put us at an overwhelming point where we're feeling so much and definitely feeling hypersensitive that we might want to check out altogether. The moon is going to make a harmonious aspect with Mars, and Mars, of course, is still in his place of power in Scorpio. And this is definitely going to put us in a position to make a little bit of progress in taking action and making a move, especially where it is that we've opened our mind and opened our heart to new paths, new ideas, new ways of doing things moving forward. We're definitely going to see a little bit of a boldness, a bravery, a courage take place where we are actively taking a little bit of baby steps to actually open ourselves up to something new, more in alignment to the grand dream, to the grand vision. Of course, we are editing each and every single day, but little bits and pieces are becoming clearer and clearer. The moon is going to be making a positive aspect to Chiron. Now, where the moon is in Gemini and Chiron, of course, is the wounded healer, this positive aspect gives us a chance to really see where it is that the growth is taking place, where it is that we are actively taking steps to heal our mind, body, and soul, and of course, our physical realms as a product of that. The moon in Gemini really blending its energies with Chiron, who is retrograde in Aries at this particular point in time, has had a lot of aha moments, a lot of revelations that we now have to rework, rethink, reprocess in our brains. And of course, when we do that, our emotions shift with it. Now, Mercury, who is in Scorpio, is sextiling Pluto. Now, a sextile is a good aspect, and Pluto, of course, being the great transformer, we're definitely having a shift in perspective, a shift in our mental plane. We might even see some of the darker thoughts, the darker ideas, the obsessive thinking. We might actually see a light go off, an aha moment, where it is that we can boss up and actually take control and rewrite the script of what it is that we've been allowing to loop as far as our inner narrative goes. Mars is going to be making a positive aspect with Chiron as well. And this kind of speaks to the extent that we might actually be in a position when we shift our heart space, when we have this aha moment and shift our mental plane into a realization of where it is that we can end some obsessive and fear-based narratives, where we can take action in our physical realm to kind of bring us up to speed in our physical realm on where it is that we've made these major changes and transformations in our inner realms. So Mars, of course, rules over our physical energy, our drive, our passion, and our anger. And he's been in Scorpio really intuitively in alignment with his gut feels. And of course, very passionate about, the new pursuit of our new desires, our new dreams, our new visions. And because Chiron is kind of at play, it's an aha moment that we are taking a baby step forward in leaving the past behind and pushing forward on a brand new path that we now feel destined to pursue. The moon goes ahead and makes a not so nice aspect with Saturn. And this is basically just another instance where we get to see when we take a step forward in life, where the darker force energies pop up within us to try and make us take a couple steps back. Now, Saturn typically does come at us with a negative narrative, a little bit of a tough love bully-like situation. And we're really all over the place because the moon is void, of course, for the majority of the day. So we want to be very mindful that we don't let these negative narratives kind of screw up the kind of growth and process that we are making one baby step at a time. We're going to have a lot of help to override this narrative because the moon goes ahead and trines Jupiter. Jupiter wants us to grow. He wants us to expand. He wants to be our hype girl. He wants us to have the faith, to have the confidence, to be hopeful, to visualize the possibilities of the future. And of course, being an Aquarian energy, he's all about the big picture. He's all about pushing us outside of our boundaries to be a little bit rebellious to the old constructs, the old restrictions that we've been living in. And the moon in Gemini, of course, just has our minds wide open to the possibilities that definitely can be taking place the minute that our heart and head actually agree before it goes ahead and manifests in our physical realm. The moon makes some not so nice aspects though with both Pluto and then with Mercury. Now this does speak volumes of the darker force energies really trying to bring that negative narrative back that we likely would have kind of beat down just a tad with this aspect in Jupiter, kind of bringing us out of the darkness, bringing us out of the funk. But Pluto is going to highlight, of course, the fears, the doubts, the insecurities, trying to speak fear into our plans. And Mercury right now, again, ruler of the mental plane, might allow those fears and insecurities and doubts to have a little bit more power in our mental plane and in our narrative than we would consciously like them to have. This is a good exercise, again, to keep mindful on what it is that you allow to take place in your mental plane. The moon makes a not so nice aspect with Uranus, and Uranus has the possibility right now to create more chaos inside of our head than which we actually woke up with. Again, the moon being void, of course, does not bode very well for us to find stability of any kind throughout the day. And with these negative narratives really trying to creep back in the positive attitude and outlook in which we've been trying to have, this little aspect with Uranus could really shake us up and make us feel very unstable. A lot of this is because the sun is creeping through the critical degree of Scorpio because the sun is moving into Sagittarius. Go ahead and peep the video I put out about this particular astrological event where I can go into a little bit more detail on what the sun moving in Sagittarius is all about for us. But typically speaking, as you know, anytime a planet is wrapping up a life lesson in another sign before shifting into a new one, we have a lot of pressure, we have a lot of panic, we have a lot of chaos. And this is 100% no different. That's why the darker force energies are trying to suck us back into the darkness, the depths of our emotions where Scorpio is concerned, because again, that fire energy wants to take over and catapult us into the possibilities, the hopefulness, the optimism of what the future actually has to hold. We wrap up the day with the moon again, now in Cancer. It's perfect, actually. The sun moves into Sag, and then the moon locks into Cancer. So this is a fresh start. We have optimism, confidence, excitement, mixed with, yes, a little bit of confusion emotionally, but this is a great way to end off the day, because the moon goes ahead in Cancer, bumps into the sun, fresh into Sagittarius. And this is like, okay, people, we got to get a new truth on the go. We have to listen to our intuition here. We have to clean the slate. We have to cut the cords with our past. We have to illuminate where it is that we are leaving the past behind in order to pursue new passion, new endeavor, futuristically speaking. And then the moon goes ahead and bumps into Mars. And this isn't the best aspect, but I got to tell you, the moon in Cancer, who is all up in her fields, very much trying to get in alignment with our intuition. Mars, being in Scorpio, is going to give us the drive, the determination, the will to really do what it takes to get in alignment with our own truth, to take action on making things happen, cutting the cord, energetically speaking, with everything that we're leaving behind in Scorpio season, to stand in the beautiful light that now is Sag season.